Hello to my Leos. Leos, happy waxing crescent moon in Virgo. I think it's in Virgo and then it'll move into Libra. So waxing crescent moons are about setting intentions and then putting actions behind those intentions. And as the moon is moving into Libra, it's about renegotiating relationships and forging new ones with the goal towards harmony and peaceful, harmonious and balanced out relationships, peaceful relationships with people. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's get into it, Leos. Let's do it. We'll try to keep it short and sweet. Let's get into it. All right. I've already prayed over your cards, already asked for clarity. So let's see what's in your cards. Let's see what's in your cards. We have 2 more videos that's going up on the Patreon side. We have the 6-month prediction video that's already filmed, ready to go. So they'll go up later on, but it's already ready to go. And then we have the 6-month prediction video that's already up in the queue. That'll go up between the 12th and the 13th of July. So that's already ready to go too. So if you're already on that side, thank you for being here and over there. And then for bonus videos, if you've been with us for quite some time, then you know that we're going to put the bonus videos up on the membership side. So not to flood right here in this YouTube space. So let's get into it. Let's get right into it. This is a general reading, so take only what resonates with you. All right. So somebody has really decided to really tap into their high priestess energy. Somebody's really decided to finally tap into their intuition, their high priestess energy. Good for you. So some kind of partnership in business and or in love is coming across your path, but somebody really started to say, okay, I need to start tapping into my intuition when it comes to partnerships. I want things to flow. I don't want to not listen to my intuition, right? So you're going to be glad that you did. In partnerships in business and or in love, you want relationships that flow. You don't want to be in any friendships or relationships or, friendships, business or relationships where it just feels like it's just a struggle, right? Where you come across as hostile or it just feels like it's just too much of a struggle. So somebody's gonna have to. So in your rebirth side, so something has ended, but on your rebirth side, somebody's, money is coming across your path. Some kind of an approval for money is coming across your path. But somebody is saying, you know what, on your rebirth side, you just want things to flow. You don't want to block your own flow by not looking at what you have in common. And you don't, you want it. Somebody gonna start out with love languages right from the very beginning, like. Love languages can be used in your personal and your professional life. That's just, okay, what is your love language? So how you can use it in a workspace would be like words of affirmation. You work for somebody and you're getting positive feedback for the job that you're doing. That could be words of affirmation. Gifts could be like, you did a job well done. You exceeded expectations and now you're getting some kind of award or something, or some kind of some kind of token of some kind of recognition. Physical touch could be like, somebody standing next to you with their arm around you. If you gave them permission that it's okay to touch them, if you gave them permission that it's okay to touch you, like arms around you in the office saying, hey, this is our star employee. They did a great job. Let's all rally around Leo, and that could be personal touch. And whatever the other, love languages are, but that's how you can use it in the business setting, then obviously you already know the other ones, but something is coming across your path. And so somebody is now starting to focus on loving themselves more, like being in harmony with themselves. That's first and foremost. That's the most important relationship. So this is balanced out with yourself, not just physically seeing it before you believe it, like listening to your intuition. And just looking at what you have in common with people, versus what do we have in common? What is it that we have in common versus the judging and comparison, right? That's what because you need, in order for fire to start, there needs to be some kind of friction, right? So somebody is saying, I'm looking at, what do we have in common? What do we have in common instead? Like, what do we have? The equanimity? Do we have forgiveness? Do we have love? Like we're talking about, are we speaking the same love language? Let's focus on those things, right? What do we have in common so we can build together, in business and or in love, right? And we're trying to work so it can be more harmonious and peaceful, So yeah, so that's what I'm seeing moving forward. So somebody's definitely leaving some things behind as you're moving forward. So your head and heart are no longer at war with each other about some things, and you're at a higher frequency, breaking away from karmic bonds in this rebirth state of your life, and you're taking a leap of faith moving forward, right? Somebody was definitely born to inspire other people, and so, but you're definitely taking your mask off as it relates to two energies in particular. You're saying, I need to take the mask off. I need to really see things for what it really is. I don't want to be around argumentative spirits. I don't want to be around all this sword fighting all the time, right? So here we have the King of Cups. And so you may find out that you have a lot more in common with people than you realize, that you just like, you don't need to be in office settings where it's always a bunch of just always arguing. You just can't even think straight when you're like, okay, this is not a war zone. We are all human beings. Let's start right there, what we have in common. Like this, we can accomplish things. We're looking at what we have in common versus the judging and comparing and a this and that. So I feel like that's where more money, somebody may be getting a raise at work where you start thinking, okay, if as a leader, because you all are leaders, right? So as leaders, I need to, if I'm getting a raise or some kind of increase, I need to start looking at what we all have in common versus, judging and comparison, which creates a bunch of friction and create a bunch of chaos and confusion, So I definitely feel like somebody is like, head and heart are no longer at war with each other. So I see you on the throne, encouraging people to pour into themselves and live a more balanced out life. That's what I'm saying here in this other side, like the rebirth side for you all. And here we have, and getting away from this, the constant comparing people, who looks the best, who's this and that, who that's so counterproductive. So once you're in settings where it's that right there, that's a Kundalini experience for somebody. Who's this and who's that? It's different from complimenting people. It's saying, somebody is complimenting somebody, but not in a harmful way. I feel like, once that for somebody, you see that kind of sort of comes out. I feel like that's where somebody's saying, okay, that's your cue to just kind of move on from something. So it's two situations. Here we have Six of Swords right here. Two situations for you that kind of sort of, almost felt like it was driving somebody crazy to kind of sort of always being compared. Like you're not looking for what we have in common. Like, okay, like, for instance, you could say like, okay, I thought we were all family, but why are you comparing me with my cousin? Why are you comparing me with my brother or sister? Why did this one got to be better than this one? Or this one look better than that one? Or this one, such and such. That's what I'm seeing here. So somebody is now going back to the very beginning, just from the root, and finding out what your love language is and how, like, learning yours, and then like learning yours fluently, and also sharing that with other people, and also learning other people's love language fluently as well, and getting away from the comparison, the judging, and the people who do all of that kind of mess. Again, somebody's head and heart are no longer at war with each other, which is a good thing. So somebody is going to learn that if you have kids, and your kids come home and they tell you that, oh, somebody said that, I wasn't as pretty or handsome as the other one, or the teacher said they like somebody else more than they like me. Sometimes that's when it clicks to somebody. It's like, okay, oh no, then that's when somebody feels like, okay, now I know how that feels. But then you got to take it deeper than that. You know how it feels in the office. You know how it felt in your childhood. You know how it felt in certain such and such. And how it cuts into your time/money, right? It cuts into your worth. It cuts into your value, right? So, and people wanting to be accepted. And it goes so much, it goes down a rabbit hole, wanting to be accepted. So they got to change this about themselves. They got to change that about themselves. They got to be accepted here. They got to be accepted there. They got to act this kind of way. They got to be accepted this kind of way. They got to be accepted in this group, this social circle, that. And so in order to make the cut, right? So they got to be accepted this kind of way and that kind of way. So Source is saying to you, it can take on a very dark energy, so Source is saying to you, so you're starting to learn your love language, like really learning your love language. And it's very different from somebody saying, hey, you got to make these grades to get into, to make it to the next level. It takes on a dark energy of like, you're not good enough type of energy. It takes on that kind of energy. Or why can't you be more like such and such kind of energy? Here we have the Chariot card. So Source is actually rewarding you for ending, that being around those sword fighting, kind of comparing people to kind of that kind of energy and looking like being more like, this is how you're taking your power back by you ending something. Like, and this is about self-love. These are the same people right here. This is the same person in one body, your divine masculine to your divine feminine. That's how you're taking your power back. This is balance. This is balance, right? So somebody is ending that part of themselves, like somebody's ending that imbalance, and somebody's being at peace with just moving on, from something. And just leaving behind, like I said, leaving behind a bunch of distractions. That's what I'm seeing for you. Here we have the Nine of Cups. And I see a lot of your wishes being fulfilled as a result of that. So congratulations to you for your wishes being fulfilled just as a result of that. Just saying, moving on from all of that comparison and who's the best. But it, like I said, it takes on a whole different form. It can take on a form of, people feeling like they just never measure up. And sometimes parents don't see it. I mean, if you have kids or nieces and nephews or whatever, or grandkids or whatever, sometimes it doesn't really hit home until your kids or grandkids or nieces or nephews come home and say somebody called them ugly, or they're not good enough, or they're not gifted and talented enough, or they didn't make the cut, or they didn't play an instrument, because we're talking about creating enough, or they didn't get into that because they didn't come from a right kind of family, or they didn't have the right last name, or their family didn't make enough money, or they didn't get, like it just doesn't hit home until somebody feels like they weren't enough, right? So that's what I'm seeing here in the cards here. So somebody's starting to look at something got somebody to get away from that kind of air. Something got somebody away from that, because something pulled something pulled this blindfolds off somebody's face. Two situations in particular pull some blindfolds off of somebody's eyes and say, okay, I need to look at things through a different lens. I wasn't seeing it that way at first, but now I'm starting to see things differently. Page of Wands here. Yeah, so somebody's going to feel like a teenager again now that you left behind a certain mindset. Here we have the Two of Wands here. And now you have a lot of opportunities coming your way. Like I said, some money is coming across somebody's path. Here we also have the Four of Wands here. So it's two situations for somebody. You have like I said, somebody could be getting a raise here, but it's two situations in particular. Somebody's going to say you're not carrying their argument or their sword fight or whatever. That's not your responsibility, or whatever's going on between other people. That has nothing to do with you. You moving on with your life. Here we have the Page of Swords here, right? So your anxiety about something is going to be going away very soon, right? So here we have the Hangman and also the Magician card. So again, Magician card came out twice. Again, this is where you're not, you're hanging in there, with yourself. You're hanging in there with yourself. You're learning. Somebody, like I said, somebody moved on from some past disappointments, and you're just learning how to hang in there with yourself. So good. Here are the questions for the Moon in Libra. First question is your work bringing more peace, justice, beauty, or harmony to the world? And then how could you amplify that? The second question is what would happen if you spent more time with people who are completely at peace with themselves? Third question is, do you receive as much as you give, or vice versa? Fourth is, which small steps could you take to create more beauty in your space? And then last but not least is, what would happen if you were to shift from complaining to a permanent sense of gratitude, right? Or even just being around those types of people. All they do is complain about, they hate their job, they hate this, they hate the way they look, they hate, they hate whatever. All they do is complain. So anyways, the source is saying, sometimes the message does not hit you until somebody connected to you who is looking for some kind of acceptance and approval. Could be a younger person looking for some kind of acceptance and approval, and you're seeing how they're being compared. It could be a baby in the house. It could be they could be the youngest one, and it could be a co-parenting situation where there could be older kids in another family where they're being compared like they're too young to hang out with the older siblings. It could be a whole kinds of stuff. They could be compared to their cousins. It could be like all of that stuff where they just don't feel like they really measure up in some way. They could be at school and feel like they're not something enough. And so something is tying you. It's like some emotional connection tying you to something that's going to help you to say, okay, I need to leave behind a lot of distractions and get balanced out. Because again, something is, more money is trying to come across your path, but something is getting somebody to get away from a bunch of distractions so that either, like I said, some kind of raise is coming across somebody's path, where source is saying, putting you in a situation where you're going to have to see what everybody has in common. Like people are looking for you to lead, and from your throne to see what everybody has in common, to see what the like I said, you're as you're moving on from something. Yeah, take the blindfolds off. See the blindfolds off. So you got a whole staff of people looking up at you, and you're trying to put together team building exercises for your team. You're not going to be the one that's going to strike a match and create chaos and confusion in your own office. You're the one that's going to say, hey, listen, we're trying to build a team together. I'm putting these people together, and we're a team. We're a team. We're not, we got to work together. So that's what I'm seeing, for you. That's what I'm seeing for you. So, yeah, so somebody is learning how to operate in that space. So, yeah. Yeah, somebody's going to feel very fortunate, to, like I said before, move on from something. Somebody's going to feel very fortunate to move on from some things. Here we have them and leave some things behind. People who smile up in your face and like I said, and talk about people behind their back. So again, here you are on your throne. Here you are on your throne praying for people. And just getting your hardworking person, like I said, a leader. A leader, and not going back to that right there, not going back to being in those spaces where it's a bunch of distractions, where you can be hurt, and not necessarily physically hurt, right? Just be hurt, like just be disappointed, hurt, that kind of thing, right? So we also have the Judgment card, which connects us to Pluto. Pluto is, you're making a very powerful transformation. Somebody's going through a metamorphosis right now. You're going through, like I said, a rebirth. These two cards right here. The new you is a person that's like taking your rightful place on the throne as a leader and saying, if I got people that I'm leading, I don't want to be the reason why everybody is fighting amongst each other. I don't want to be the reason why it's a bunch of chaos and confusion going on. I want to look at what we have in common here, not what we, here we have the Lovers card. So somebody has made a decision. This Lovers card came out twice in your personal and your professional life, right? So that's how you're taking your power back, both in your personal and your professional life. So congratulations to somebody. Congratulations to somebody. Like I said, nobody has any competition. Nobody has any competition whatsoever. So that's why you have so much fire here, because somebody has been in survival mode. And that's what you have in common with some people, is that people have been in survival mode for so long and just leaving so many distractions behind. How people come out of survival mode situations can be different than how you come through survival mode situations. And so you're looking for what you have in common, not judging them, like judging how they come through survival mode situations. So, let's see what else. And so survival mode situations for some people could mean like they came out of a lot of bullying. They could have been bullied. They could have been like beat up, bullied. So, you know, like just like I said, here we have be patient. The answers are coming. Everything in moderation. Make a list of pros and cons. Your inner child is proud of you. You know, you have the gift of deja vu. That's remembering the future. But treat yourself to a spa day, right? So at what age did your parents work on their shadow self? At what age did you work on your shadow self? You have the gift of claircognizance, that psychic knowledge about other people. Your ex was on an assignment, whoever's ex that was. Whoever. But root chakra cleanse. Things are starting to become clear now. And so your gifts have actually been increased. High priestess gifts have been increased, your intuition. Yeah, but somebody is now starting to look at things like, okay, working together, you know, to accomplish things instead of like, you know, somebody's your opposition. So let's see. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see what else we have here. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, so when I look here, we got 3, 2 is 5, and 4 is 9. So 2 situations in particular. Somebody's come through a long and arduous journey. Prayed your way, like I said, through the throne. It's just like I said, just a bunch of, like I said, it's a lot. The lovers. Here we have 42. Love lulls all sorrow and bewitches flesh, mind, and breath, reminding me that I am unafraid of the unfurling winds of my eternity. So yeah. So if somebody, like I said, has a partnership in business and or in love, or you can have 2 partnerships coming across your path, right? So again, the goal is peace and harmony within those relationships. And so as you're renegotiating relationships in your life and getting away from energies that's always complaining about their partnerships, abundance, and that's what you're moving towards, more abundant relationships and away from those other types of relationships. So that's what you're looking forward towards, you know. Allowing a radical acceptance says yes to reality in any given moment. So what's needed can come next. So what's needed can come next. .44, I am supported. So your angels are encouraging you to continue in your present life path with diligence and determination. Too many D's there. And even greater success will come in the future. Yeah, so whatever your anxiety is, the anxiety will be going away very soon. The anxiety will be going away very soon. But yeah. Yeah, so let's see what else. I think that's it. So something is over. Something is over. And somebody's going to feel very fortunate that something is over. Something is over. Somebody's going to feel very fortunate that something is over. So you have a lot of wishes that's being fulfilled here. And let's see. That's what I have for you. That is what I have for you. I will see you all in the next reading. I'll see you in the next reading. And like I said, all bonus videos will go up on the membership side. And then we got 2 other videos that's going up on the other side. Okay? On the Patreon side. Bye.